Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's do a quick fiddle tune before we get into today's magic product review. Hopefully you'll recognize this tune. Okay, well that's all the fiddle music you're getting today. I love that tune. It is If I Only Had a Brain. Of course, it's a great title too, from the movie The Wizard of Oz. Alright, hey, if you're new here, my name's FiddlinJonny and this is my fiddle channel. And it's also my magic product review. And today I'm going to review Brent Braun's Definitely Not Marked. Now, I kind of really hate to do negative reviews, but I had some major issues with this one. Still worth considering. If you're thinking about purchasing this product, please watch the review first before you consider picking it up. All right, stick around and we'll get right into it. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Really glad that you're here. And I know I say that every single time, but the truth is I'm grateful that you're here and that you watch these reviews. I hope they are helpful for you. Okay, this is one where I really want to be helpful for you. So I know that this was released maybe about a year ago, I think. Apologies if that's wrong, but anyway, I know that it's a current hot seller. It is Definitely Not Marked by Brent Braun. And this is based upon, Brent has done a nice job of taking a couple of other things he did. It's based upon Capitulating Queens by James Swain, NFW as well, has incorporated some things there, 5-Speed by Chris Kenner. So he's sort of taking elements of those and based upon those and giving it his own spin, and so that's sort of some of the things that it's based upon. Really solid stuff. What's the effect? The effect here is that you start off by showing 4 red-backed aces. And it progresses that as you show the backs of the aces, each time you talk a little bit about marking cards, and as you then mark the cards first showing 4 red backed, next one of them is pink backed, next one of them is blue backed, next one of them is green and has a piece missing, and finally the Ace of Spades says Definitely Not Marked. It's kind of a cool progressive style color changing back effect. So that's what the effect is. Let's talk a little bit about what you're going to get first before we get into some meat and potatoes here. So what you're going to get is you're going to get 6 bicycle backed cards, all right? They are aces with different colored backs, with one of them saying Definitely Not Marked on them. You're also going to get 1 streaming video / downloadable video, and that downloadable video is 21 minutes and 35 seconds in length. And then the final thing that you're going to get is a headache. Yep, my attempt at humor. You're actually going to get a headache with this. Maybe not everybody, but definitely some. So let's get into how are the instructions. They're terrible. They're just terrible. I don't want to candy coat it for you. They're terrible. And I want to be constructive here. It might sound that I'm being critical, and I am being critical, but I want to be constructive in the process. This is, I will not berate Brent Braun at all in this. I think Brent is an awesome magician who has released an effect that is a super cool packet effect that is strong if you learn how to do it. Really good stuff, and I like his take on it. I think he's got a lot of creativity and imagination with how he has structured it. It's a really well-structured routine. So all of those things are great. It's the tutorial that is not very good here. And also I'd like, just to keep on the positive end here, you provides a full live performance. That full live performance is the same one essentially that you're going to see when you watch the teaser for this release. It is something that comes from Brent's working repertoire and long time working repertoire. So you know that when you've got a working magician who is releasing something from their own repertoire, that you can pretty much count on it, that it's a good effect, and I will concur, an awesome effect. Those are the types of things I'm always looking for personally, because I feel like I can really count on those ones. He's done a nice job too here on the tutorial about this taping conditions. It's done in a studio. It's done with multi-camera. You also get the performer's perspective, so it's sort of this over the shoulder. You've got tie down on the hands at certain points of it as well. You're also going to get an addition with Eric Tate in it, which is really good, and he's in the studio, and all those conditions are perfect. They also add at the end of the tutorial, especially for folks who are experienced and they sort of know what the move that needs to be done, sort of just gets rid of all the scripting, and you can just go to here's what the move is, here's what you do in this phase, and so forth. I think those aspects of it are really, really good and really solid. However, I just think Braun's instructions were less than adequate. Great performer, but his teaching here really, I think, missed the mark. Here's where I think the specific issue is. There is a move that must be executed in each phase. It's a move that's a classic that if you've been doing magic for any amount of time at all levels, whether you're a hobbyist or professional, you know the move and you do the move from time to time. It could be part of a lot of different sort of packet tricks that you do. So you can probably see the trailer for it and go, oh yeah, that's probably the move that's being used, and you're probably right. The problem is when that move is taught, it is done terribly. It is hard to track and follow. And then when it's done in the subsequent phases of it, it's not really sort of addressed and gone through the mechanics of it. For somebody who is brand new into magic or in the beginner level of magic and they don't know this move, they're going to come away from this tutorial still not being able to do the move. And I hate to be that strong, but I'm speaking to folks at Penguin and to Brent, but mostly the folks at Penguin, that you guys are releasing it, that you've got to take the time here to make sure that a newbie would be able to learn from these instructions. Now, a newbie can quickly, Brent talks about what the name of the move is, and you can do a quick search on YouTube and you'll be able to find tutorials from like Xavier Spade and Chris Ramsey doing a tutorial on it that are just better and free. That shouldn't be the way for somebody who's paying money for this. The explanation should be super clear. And I might just add something like, if you're a company who's releasing these Penguin, bring in somebody who's a beginner magician and have train them how to do the move in real time, as well as when you're taping it, because that way you're getting real-time feedback if your new beginner is learning the move, and you can sort of see in real time, get feedback like where are the errors and what are the things from the trainer perspective that you're not training effectively, or the questions that somebody who's brand new might have. So that would be one of my suggestions here on it. So, and I say all those things because I want future releases to be good for those who are paying money to learn a trick. So I have confidence that people who know what the move is, it's not going to be an issue. But if you're brand new, you might want to consider not purchasing it because you're not going to learn the move well enough on this, in my humble opinion. All right. I had a hard time. I know the move, I used the move, but by the time we got into phase 2 and phase 3 of it, I was unclear, like, are you executing the move here exactly? And didn't really walk through it well enough. Went through it so fast that, in all honesty, it was hard to track. And I get it from our perspective as magicians at times that it's hard for us to see magic with new eyes sometimes, and we operate under assumptions when we're teaching stuff. And I think this is probably what happened here, is you just assume that the person who's watching understands when they're not getting it. So anyway, that's it. Those are most of my things. I would say that there was an attempt, obviously, like Eric Tate, like one of my criticisms here, is that it is standard when you first start off, the person who's doing the tutorial will go through what you receive, they'll then go through the setup, they'll go through the moves, and then they'll go through a performance, kind of your standard sort of structure. In this, there wasn't a completion of the setup, and so Eric Tate had to, I assume, insert himself cut himself into an early part of the tutorial to walk over or to go through this setup. Now, look, it's super easy. I don't know if you need, for the part that Eric inserted himself, whether you need it or not, but it was nice and I appreciate it, and I think that was a move in the right direction. So, but Eric and Nick over there at Penguin, this is the sort of thing, like, I count on you guys to sort of watch when your performer hasn't quite nailed it, because they may not be doing tutorials all the time, for you guys to go like, oh, we need to insert or make this better here. Okay, that's it. The big problem here is the tutorial. It's terrible. If you're brand new, you're not going to learn the most critical move in this from this tutorial. There's an attempt, but it's done so poorly. All right, so, and that is not a criticism of character of Brent. Braun, great magician. Brent, I hope you don't take it negative in that way, that it's just, I'm trying to be constructive criticism here for folks when they're doing releases, and sometimes when we're so close to it and our quality control measures we need to have in place to make sure that for the consumer it's good for them. All right, so let's talk about the gimmicks. Not really gimmicks, they're cards. They're bicycle back cards, and they are awesome, really fantastic, and you're going to receive these really, really awesome. Skill level. It is a beginner skill level, despite all of my sort of negativity here about the tutorial. It is, I think a beginner can do it if they could have learned the move. Let's talk about some of the pros here. I've said a lot of these already. It's a good trick. It's a good effect. It has an instant reset on it. For packet tricks, it's great because it's small. You can even pack it inside your regular deck and pull it out, starting off with a 4 aces effect. I do like that Eric Tate inserted himself at a certain point to make improvements or complete sort of what a tutorial would be. From the perspective of this effect, Brent's done a nice job where it gets progressively better through each phase. Starts off relatively dull, and that's maybe not being kind, but it builds from there. And I think that is with Brent and how he has structured it really, really well. The cons on this basically is, let me go with one more pro. It finishes clean. You can hand these cards out at the end and have no worries because they're just bicycle back cards, all right? And you're just learning a slide for the most part to do this. All right, the cons, poor tutorial, just poor. When I say poor, I mean terrible. Who's gonna like this? Card magicians are gonna like this. Close-up card magicians are gonna love this. If you're a strolling magician, a bar magician, even kids shows, I think it's great. It's really a good effect, and I think if you fall into any of those categories, it's the type of effect that you'll like. Let's talk about the cost. In the United States, it is $19.95. I actually think that is a fair price for this type of a packet trick. It's just a shame that you won't learn if you're a beginner from the tutorial. All right, I've kind of gone on and beat that dead horse. I hope this is helpful for you if you are considering looking at this product. I think it's a good product in that the effect is good. I think the routine is good. I just think if you're brand new, you may not get what you need from this tutorial, and we'll have to do an additional search on the internet to find free tutorials on how to do the move. So I hope that's helpful. So you still might want to actually purchase it, given all that. Okay, so I've got a couple things coming up I want to let you guys know. I've got Thy Will Be Done from the 1914, which is one of my future reviews here by Alexander Marsh. We all know now that the 1914 is doing such cool packaging. And also from Henry Harrius, we have here Hollywood or Holywood. This is a classic style effect. It's been updated. You may or may not be familiar with it. Looking forward to cracking that open. Neither of these have I opened up yet, so I'll be reviewing those shortly. So keep coming back to check out the reviews. Before you purchase something, come to the channel here and see if I have already reviewed it, so that you know going into a purchase that you're fully informed. All right, everyone, make sure you subscribe. Would like to get to 1,000 subs. I'd really appreciate it. Leave a comment. Favorite part here, I think, really is getting to know you, the viewer, and getting to kind of know you through the comments. I really enjoy that, and make sure you like. All those things are free to do, and appreciate it. All right, I'm FiddlinJonny, and remember to keep fiddling around with your magic. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.